Hey guys, this is Chandler. Welcome back to the Marshall and Southern. Today we're looking at another pre-order that just recently come in. This has been a long awaited one, actually a couple years waiting on this one. This is the N-Scale Athearn F59PHI decorated in the NCDOT passenger paint scheme. They did both numbers of the PHIs in the NCDOT, 1755 City of Salisbury and then 1797 City of Asheville, which is just out of frame right now. It's on the back of this train. And so I'm from North Carolina, and this is where these trains run. They run between Charlotte, North Carolina and Raleigh, North Carolina daily. NCDOT has two PHIs in the 1755 and 1797, along with some other locomotives that are not PHIs. But right here you'll see some pictures. These are actually my photos that I've taken in the past of some of the PHIs running on the Norfolk Southern main line near where I live. So I'm from Thomasville, North Carolina, and so you'll see here passing through Thomasville. There's a picture here in Lexington, North Carolina as well. So like I said, this was definitely a must-have since I grew up seeing this train. I've actually rode this train a couple times. So definitely a big hit in N-Scale since it's the first time they've done these in N-Scale, especially for the North Carolina folks that are really enjoying these. If you remember a while back, it's been several years ago, Athearn did the first run of these in HO, and they were pretty nice. I had both numbers in HO. I actually ended up selling them later on, and then a couple years ago, right when these were announced, Athearn redid them in HO again for the second run, and then they were offered with DCC and Sound. So I ended up getting both numbers with DCC and Sound and HO. If you look at some of my previous HO scale variety videos, you'll find them running on there. But this is the first time they've been done in N-Scale, and I must say, it being a few years and stuff, I'm pretty impressed. It was worth the wait. These are some nice looking locomotives. I got some great detail on them. I used to be a really big Athearn modeler, and I've really slacked off on some of their stuff, especially a lot of their HO stuff they've been producing. I hadn't really been too pleased with. But these here, I'm very happy with how they did these. And like I said, my heart obviously leans toward these because I'm from North Carolina and riding and photographing this train and growing up around it. It means a lot to see these done. So very happy that Athearn chose to do these in N-Scale. There are no passenger cars out yet. No one's done any ready to run cars in HO or N-Scale for the NCDOT scheme. There is decal kits for them that you can do, and I may end up getting some older passenger cars later and decaling them up for the NCDOT, but for right now I'm just running Amtrak and fleet cars with them. That's the Cotto cars. And then when I run my HO ones, I just run whatever I can find, mainly a lot of Walters cars and stuff. But we're not going to do a full review. You know how it goes here. We're just going to kind of show you the basic lights and sounds. These are Athearn locomotives with Tsunami decoders in them, so as soon as I plug them up, the sound will automatically come on once track power is applied. So you hear it coming on. Alright, there's your lights coming on. And it's got different horns and bells you can choose. I actually haven't even went through them yet. I was kind of just running these the other night for the first time. I was actually kind of happy with the ones I saw, so I may play around with the different horn and bells, but I like what's on it. So we're just going to hear it right now. Now, one thing I wish they would have did is the flashing ditch lights on these. Now, they did them for the HO scale, and there may be a function to change that on there. I have not really looked at that yet, but right out of the box, the ditch lights do not flash. Here's the bell. Now, I've got to do some serious speed table work on these because these things, obviously being passenger locomotives, you're going to run them faster than freight, but these things, the speed table is like all over the place. So I'm just going to show you what speed step 1 does right now. And they have been broke in a little bit, and you see you got that joltiness, but when we get up to 5, then it really smooths out. Back it back up here in frame. We're going to do speed step 5. And then speed step 10. And look how fast it is for speed step 10. And then it just stops right on a dime. So definitely everybody play around with the speed tables a little bit and see if we can get something a little bit smoother start and smoother stop there on them. But overall, I'm pretty happy with these. So like I said, that's 1755 there on the head. And then 1797 is on the rear of the train. But we're going to go ahead and end this little review video here with some run by that I have of them to show you guys both of them running. I do appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully some other folks got these and we'll post some videos on them as well. I ain't really seen a whole lot on, probably because a lot of people forgot about them because the pre-order was so late. But Athearn came through and they delivered, and I'm pretty happy with them and hope you guys are as well. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned and we'll see you around.